Welcome to the Microsoft Cloud Option webinar series. My name is Vivek Bhatnagar. I am a CTO and founder for UnifyCloud. So we have discussed a lot more about digital state, understanding this, and then prioritizing workload. Let's talk about the skill planning, and again this skill planning uh, is majority time overlooked. In my experience, it is always afterthought about skill plan, and but it's I highly recommend to do it. In if you look at the IT industry history, some of you maybe as old as I am, and we all have seen like most notable changes often being marked by changes in the staff role. For example, like we have seen that transition from mainframe computing to the client server computing in 1980s or 70s, and we have seen that there was a role of computer operator very popular in those days. And it completely disappeared and then replaced by something called system administrator roles. And when virtualization arrived, like around like 90s, and again that things changes, and there is the system administrator role is replaced by a virtualization specialist, and some companies are start calling them a data center specialist and other thing. And history is repeating again. We are now moving to the cloud, or it's kind of a new platform, and we are almost certain that there are a lot of roles which are going to disappear or change significantly. And it is making a lot more IT staff nervous. Well, they say, how do we change the role, or do we still have our jobs and all other thing? But I believe that most of them are agile enough to retrain themselves or basically learn new cloud technologies, which is not that difficult for them. Actually, they can learn better than anyone else, and then can be successful in this new cloud era. In this slide, it's not the most comprehensive slide, but it is about like changing roles. So a lot of roles, for example, solution manager might be relationship manager and kind of a business architects. Then there are all test dev become the engineering and DevOps, which is a very paradigm change for. Then we have a new roles like a data scientist and information architects. So these are new roles which are very popular with the companies when the cloud migration modernization projects are keep running. There are a lot of resources to learn it. Like Microsoft has a learning portal where you can actually go and learn about these all skills and role. And there's a lot of training and certificates available. There are three more things listed here. The first is like identification of gap. It's important exercise that we do with the business stakeholders and technical stakeholders and look at the gaps. So like what are the essential gaps in their skills? Like it might be cloud management, might be the costing compliance in the cloud, maybe the implementation. So like what are the gaps we have and how we can fill those gaps by maybe hiring somebody or by having a partner in place or doing these things. Um, with cloud also, like we look at across teams, because these skills in traditional organization are not at one places. So we look at like in their complete IT organization for these kinds of skills, and then create a team, and also create an organization-wide learning plan. And I sometimes call learning plan as a culture plan. So because when we implement cloud implementation, and a lot more is about culture. Like how do you talk to people and how do you convince them that cloud is going to really uh, change their applications, and in the cloud who is going to be much more powerful and effective. So it's more a cultural management also. So whenever I manage these kinds of project, I spend as much as time in building a technology plan and skill plan, and also a cultural change plan, as much as I spend time in building a technology plan. Because technology plan won't be successful if you don't have a matching plan for the skills, and also for learning, and finally to maybe change the culture aligning with that project.